Long ago, in the quiet hills and dusty towns of ancient Galilee, a man named Jesus of Nazareth began to walk among the people. He was not a man of wealth or political power, nor did he command armies or sit in the courts of rulers. Yet there was a weight to his presence, a clarity in his voice, and a fire in his purpose that drew hearts to him like a gathering storm. As Jesus traveled from village to village, speaking of mercy, justice, and the nearness of the kingdom of God, certain men left behind their trades, their families, and their old lives to follow him. Some were fishermen, hardened by the wind and waves. Others were tax collectors, despised by their neighbors for their dealings with the Roman occupiers. Still others came from ordinary walks of life, though each carried within them a quiet readiness for something greater than themselves. One by one, they gathered around Jesus. There was Simon, later called Peter, whose fiery heart often rushed ahead of his understanding. Beside him was Andrew, his brother, gentle and steady, who had first heard whispers of a Messiah by the Jordan River. James and John, sons of thunder, left their father's boat behind, their ambition for greatness slowly reshaped by years at Jesus' side. Matthew, once a collector of taxes, stepped away from his ledgers and coin-strewn tables to walk a path of grace. Philip, a seeker by nature, and Bartholomew, faithful and unassuming, soon joined the growing company. Thomas, whose careful mind often wrestled with doubt, took his place among them, as did James, son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, a quiet presence in the group. Simon the Zealot, once driven by fierce political passion, learned to exchange sword and rebellion for peace. And then there was Judas Iscariot, who would walk with the others, though a shadow hung quietly at the edge of his heart. Together, these 12 men formed a circle around Jesus. They watched as he healed the sick, calmed storms, and spoke words that stirred both the lowly and the powerful. He called them not because of their perfection, but because of their willingness to leave behind the familiar for the unknown. They became witnesses to a story that would reshape history. Ordinary men chosen for an extraordinary purpose. In time, they would scatter to the corners of the world, carrying with them the memory of the one they followed and the message he left in their keeping.